Da 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 do 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 do. Da 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 da. So what do you guys think of that?
What am I think about what?
I don't know what happened.
Please, Tom, take me. I want you so bad.
If you don't like technical terms, you can just cover your ears.
Like, we have a super democratic situation in Turkey. I have to say that because I don't want to go to jail.
I'm not sure you'll find it as interesting as I do.
I don't want to go to jail.
Yes.
Welcome to Fried Spotted Babylon, an irregularly broadcasted podcast with a Swede, a Turk, and an Icelander talking about music, politics, identity, philosophy, economy, history, and Netflix. The aim is trying to explore human commonalities while still indulging in our own personal and national eccentricities, and without ending up more confused than we were when we started. In this episode, you'll hear me use words with too many syllables and talk about skin cream. Seyda can't stop hugging random people on the street, and Oli activates his magic Icelandic weapon, silence. So for today's topic, I was thinking identity politics.
Politics?
Yeah, politics.
Politics. I don't want to use my brain cells for that.
Okay, wow. Well, I guess that's that then. Thank you for listening to the third episode of Fried Spotted Babylon. Today's topic was identity politics. Be sure to check out our previous episodes. We have an amazing one about music and a very thoughtful one about violence. Hope to see you all in the future.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, that's that. I guess we can just go and watch Netflix again.
Like, imagine that, like how you were spending your time without Netflix. I don't remember how was I spending my time without Netflix. Like, seriously, I don't know what I was doing before Netflix. I don't know. I mean, for a really, really long time, like, I was resisting not to watch Peaky Blinders. Because I was thinking that, nah, I don't want to watch it. Everybody's watching that. I'm not going to watch it and stuff. And this time, before I made this trip to Sweden, I said, okay, well, there's nothing so good on Netflix. Let's try if it is a good one or if it is a bad one. First 1 or 2 episodes for me is just like, I didn't find myself that I was going deep. God, now, if you ask me that if I wanna just be a whore of Thomas Shelby, I would definitely accept that. Even if I can be just like one of the persons in your gang. And I found myself like every evening when I'm coming home, I was getting so excited because I was thinking that I have a date with Thomas. Like I was just opening Netflix and getting so excited that, oh my God, I'm going to watch Tom. And I found myself that like I started to become a part of his world. And then I started to find myself that I'm checking Peaky Blinders on the internet. And then I suddenly found myself that I'm trying to be a part of that community. And then it becomes suddenly a part of my identity. Yeah, now it's becoming like if someone in my social environment, if they just come up and say something about, oh, Peaky Blinders is not a good program and stuff, I would definitely fight for that. I would not fight anything about nationalism in Turkey, but I would fight for Thomas. It's like, you know that your mind, how was it before you start to watch it, and how it changed after you watch it. My life, my point of view in life started to change after I watched that. Like I was just like it's okay, like let's take some cocaine on the bar and just like do something like that. Let's do it, or just cut the people on the like with the blades or something. It's okay, let's do it. Definitely changing you. Yeah, it's definitely. If you didn't watch it, definitely watch it. Your life will be not the same after you watch it. I swear on God.
For now, it's just fun that you just seem to have entirely internalized this electronic group that only exists on the internet as sort of part of your identity. And it would be funny if you could make an identity politics out of that. I think it was former French Prime Minister Sarkozy who said that there was a spiritual principle and a mysterious bond acting at the level of the subconscious and irrational when he was speaking of the French people's relations to France. That was a complicated sentence. I'll give you a second to let that sink in. Wouldn't it be cool if you applied that idea, but instead of applying it to France, you would apply it to people's relations to Netflix?
Yeah, do we already have that? Some sort of like identity with through internet?
Yeah, I guess so.
People who play Zelda?
Yeah, perhaps one could make some sort of identity politics on some internet group like Zelda or Netflix or something like that. I do think the nationalist aspect of it is kind of cool as well, though. We're all from different nations, so we could start talking about our sort of national identity. What about you, Ollie? Are you a nationalist?
I think it's a little bit more, or a little bit of a, maybe it's coming back, but it has been a little bit of a taboo in the North to be overly nationalistic.
I mean, I don't know about it. I think I'm a different kind of a case, because if you ask me, what are you? Like, describe yourself. I would say that like my first stuff would be like Turkish. Like this last time when I was in Sweden, I was helping a friend to move in her place, and she wrote me that like the guy, the lifter, the helping to move the stuff is Turkish. And I went out, I was just say hi to people. And when I saw that Turkish dude, I was just like, come here, I have to hug you because you're Turkish. But he was not Turkish, like not that way, not the way that I was Turkish. So he was just like, okay. And he was just hugging me, and I was just hugging him. And okay, like for them, this is like even for them, this is like not normal.
And what would you say is a good positive version of nationalism? How would one achieve that?
Be like a nice mixture of their own, wherever they are from. Combine them with their own personality and come out with that. There's an Israeli woman. She's so good with the English, but since like she created another identity when she's singing. So when she sings, she's trying to sing like the way that like she doesn't know any English that well. Her name is Shafita, and she's changing the original songs, like from Radiohead, like Karma Police. She's singing like this way: Karma Police, arrest this man. Like and I really like it when she do that.
So that's what's called rooted cosmopolitanism, when you sort of know where you're from, but you're still open to new stuff. If you get good at it, that can probably be a very nice version of group identity. So identity politics is based on group thinking. You identify with a certain group, and that's your basis for politics. But it's kind of hard to imagine that group thinking doesn't have some good sides and some bad sides to it. I think from a very young age, humans are sort of enchanted by the idea that they might be right and everyone else might be wrong. There's, of course, a lot of fun examples of that. Let me give you one. So there was this guy called Leon Festinger who once infiltrated a doomsday cult. And he was there the day they said that aliens would come and save them while the rest of the world would be destroyed. So the aliens were going to come at 12 o'clock and everyone was sitting in a room waiting. And so the clock hits 12 and nothing happens. So how are these people going to react? Well, of course, one alternative would be to say that, okay, we were wrong. We said there would be aliens, but there are none. We were wrong, and after all, everyone said that we would be wrong, right? So why not? But of course, that's not really what happened. Instead, they try to figure out excuses for why the aliens didn't come. They look around the room and they find another clock. And so they collectively decide that that clock is the correct clock and the one that had already hit 12 was probably wrong. So they wait again, and then that clock hits 12 as well. And still nothing happens. So the person who's in contact with the aliens get in contact with them again and speak to them. It turns out that they're running late. People keep waiting and nothing happens. And then the aliens get in contact again, and they say that they're actually going to perform a different miracle altogether. Someone in the room is going to die and then get resurrected. So they wait for that to happen, but then that doesn't happen either. And then they get back to the original plan, waiting for the aliens to come. And then after a while, they decide that they've been sitting there spreading so much light that the aliens have decided to spare the Earth. So they were still right about the aliens. It's just that the aliens changed their minds. And so the bad, stifling version of identity politics seems to be something like that. Something like, my group is right and everyone else is wrong. So there's another field of research in social psychology that relates even more specifically to identity politics. They're researching something called directionally motivated reasoning. It's basically when you're reasoning, but you're not trying to get to an accurate conclusion. You're trying to get to a conclusion that you subconsciously want to be true. So if you base your politics on what group you belong to, you're likely to want that group to be correct. And that might be where we're not agreeing on things like the greenhouse effect, if it's man-made, etc., gender issues, etc., etc. Let me give you an example of that. If you want to look it up, it's called motivated numeracy and self-enlightened government. So in this study, they take two groups. One is the control and the other one is the experimental group. So in the control group, the participants get to look at a bunch of numbers. And if they add these numbers up, they'll show if the skin cream product is effective. So kind of a nice topic, but not a very politically sensitive one. But in the experimental group, people are looking at the exact same numbers. But here they tell people that if you add these numbers up, they'll show you whether or not a gun control ban is effective. And here the answers get polarized according to which cultural sphere the participants belong to, a Republican or a Democrat. So if you belong to the Republican cultural sphere, you'll add the numbers up in a way that makes it seem that the gun control ban is ineffective, and vice versa for the Democrats. So just like with the cult who wanted to believe in the aliens, here people seem to want to believe in a Republican or a Democratic truth. So what do you think about that?
You are digging it from third dimension. Your mind is belong to the third dimension, but you're trying to reach your soul to your fifth dimension. So the things that you are searching and you're looking for is not the things that you're ready to solve.
Okay, now I'm confused. Thank you for listening to Fried Spotted Babylon. I hope you've learned a little bit from it, or otherwise just enjoyed Seyda's revelations on Netflix habits. I'll see you next time. Stay confused.
Please do not take anything serious in this conversation.
Exactly.
I'm right and you're all wrong.